Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Freldren, and as you can see, I am back in Star Trek Online, and today I'm going to be going over the current event, a reward ship that is the Fek'Ihri Vok'Tar Temporal Science Vessel, Tier 6. Now, the only thing I've done so far with it is I've unlocked the Starship Mastery and the Starship Trait, to make it kind of easier to go over so I don't have to do two separate runs with it, one with and one without. This ship isn't too bad. I do like it visually more than I like it physically or in combat, but I haven't tested it out with my typical type of build, so I'll be doing that also towards the end. But for now, I kind of want to go over it as is pretty much, except for obviously the mastery unlocked, and kind of give my thoughts on how this ship kind of feels. So yeah, let's go over the mastery itself. First, we have a plus 15% damage to exotic damage abilities, so your gravity wells and stuff like that. Plus 10% shield hit points, always good to have more shields. We have improved hull healing ability by 10% and improved shield healing ability by 10%. Healing, always good. And then we have 28. Okay, this is not going to be exactly because I'm on ground, so this number is not correct, but it says 28.3 shield regen every 6 seconds. It'll be much higher when I'm in space. And then we have a 5% shield resistances, which is always good to have. Now the trait itself, this is harmonic mind wave. Once every 15 seconds, when you activate an universal console, confuse enemies in a 5-kilometer radius for 7.5 seconds. And there's a plus 20% all damage versus confused and placated foes. So that's pretty good. It gives you more DPS against those foes who are confused or placated. This also comes with a universal console that can be equipped on any ship. You can only have one of them equipped, just like most of these. Our passive for it, or first of all, it's called the Eye of Grathor, and our passive for it is plus 34.2% fire and psionic damage, so you get increased for fire and psionic damage. Plus 10% cooldown reduction on universal consoles. That's pretty good. I like that because I use a lot of universal consoles. And the activated ability itself, Soul Scream Vortex, AoE pull, reduce flight speed and turn rate, all subsystems, and subsonic damage, explodes on expiration. Okay, so it pulls enemy towards the center in a 5-kilometer radius for 45 seconds, which is quite a long time. 2 affected foes deal, and again, this is off because I'm on ground. I'll go ahead and go over this again when I'm in space. Deals 101.3 psionic damage per second, ignored shields. Reduces flight speed by minus 15%, reduced turn rate by 69.2%, which is pretty good. Minus all subsystem powers, and then Vortex detonates upon closure, dealing, and again, this is going to be off because I'm on ground, not in space, 3,750 psionic damage to all foes in a 5-kilometer radius. It's got a 2-minute recharge time, which is pretty good. And you gotta think it's got that plus 10% cooldown reduction to universal consoles, so take 10% off of that. That's not too bad. All right, so at the top of this it says fire and psionic damage. Now this itself only does psionic damage. There's not many consoles that do fire damage, or abilities or anything like that, except for the other Fek'Ihri ship consoles. So it can synergize with those if you have any of those. I've got like 2 of them, but I'm not going to be showing them off. But they have, you know, again, they're synergized with the fire damage, which isn't too bad. And actually, I got them in my inventory here. They're okay in certain situations. You know, this one fires this soul, whatever, a fiery maw. That's what it is. At the enemies, it's a point blank. You have to be like pointing directly at them, so it's kind of hard to use this one sometimes. This one actually grabs the enemies and pulls them towards you. You can drag them around, which is actually pretty decent. But again, these also increase fire damage, so they do work hand in hand together. So, but again, like I said, I'm not gonna be showing these off. You know, these are part of like the old ships. I just want to kind of mention that they do synergize with them. They don't have a you know, like a set bonuses though, so that kind of sucks. If they had a set bonus, I'd probably use them. And then if this actually did fire damage along with the psionic damage, I would use them too. But since it doesn't, I don't see the point of actually trying it. You can see all this stuff right here later on. Again, like I said, I'll be using my kind of typical build on this after I do a run with it, with how it is as it is now. But before I do that, I want to go over the visuals for it. There's not much in the way of customization for this. It's only got the one template, so that means when you come in here to advanced, you can't change anything. Even if you own other Fek'Ihri ships, there's no extra parts you can change out. But you can give it a pattern if you want. The Starship Bridge is the basic kind of alien starship bridge, so won't be going over that. There's nothing new there. You can change the window types. There's only 2 window types. You know, one's a little bit brighter than the other. That's about it. The main thing that you can change on this is the material. The materials are pretty nice. I do like the one it is now. But you got Fek'Ihri 1, which is like, you know, fiery, dark, not too bad. 2, again, it's kind of similar, a little bit different. It's got more of these grayish areas on there, more reflective, I guess. And then 3, this is like the old school style, I think. Also, if you have the vanity shield and you put it on the ship, it'll look exactly like this. So if you're using this, the vanity shield is kind of pointless. But then back to the one it comes with. I really like this one. It looks great on it. And when I'm flying around, you'll see that this has green flames coming out of it. The Fek'Ihri ships have flames, and this one is green, which I love that because I'm a big fan of green colors. So, but yeah, that's basically about it. You can see in here. So let me get out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go show the ship off in space so you can get a little bit better look at it. Actually, I'm going to probably go to the Dyson Sphere where the lighting's actually pretty good. So I'll be right back. All right, so I am here in the Solanae Dyson Sphere. The lighting here is really good, so it should actually be able to show it off a little bit better. As you can see, the ship is not small. Right next to me is a Tier 6 command carrier. So this ship is not small at all. I wasn't expecting that. I figured it'd be a lot smaller considering it's a science vessel and considering how zippy this ship is, you know, how well it turns. So that was a big surprise to me. Again, look at that green flames coming off this thing. I love it. It has a kind of a unique design to it too. If you look at this side, it's got this piece that comes out. It's kind of just across the center of the side. But on this side, oh, look at that sheen. It's got like 2 pieces. It's got this piece down here and then this piece here. So it's not symmetrical, which I like. I like having ships that aren't symmetrical. But yeah, again, you know, it's a decent looking ship. Let me go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like with the vanity shield on. Again, it looks like one of the other ones for the normal looking things, but at least you get well, actually it's a little different here. Oh no, it's just lighting. Lighting is doing something weird, but anyways, there you go. That's more like what it looks like. But I guess I've never really seen them in this lighting, so I didn't realize it would shine that much. Yeah, it's not too bad if you want this kind of look to it. Still get the green flames, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go test this out in a patrol. Normally I would do Argala, because Argala is kind of one of those, you know, it's not that it's easy, it's just more easy to kind of show off stuff in there. But I actually figured out that a better one to do, it is actually kind of a something a lot of people do to use a patrol a lot of people use to test out ships and stuff. And it's the, here, hold on, I can't remember what it's called. I'll go out into sector space and I'll show you. All right, so it's over here. Oh yeah, that's right, Starbase 234 system. Basically you have to fight a starbase, also a couple of ships and stuff. So I'll go over there and I'll do that. Also look at how this looks in space. Once I get past this stuff here, I do like how it just leaves this green trail of flames, and it's even better when you do this. It changes right here a little bit, but it still has the green in the back. It's beautiful. I like it. Definitely like it. All right, I don't want to go too fast because I'm going to end up missing my area. I'll fast forward until I get there. All right, so the objective of this one is take out these vessels. Now, my loadout with my duty or bridge officers is, you know, kind of a typical build, I guess. Nothing too special about it. I just want to make sure I had some of the abilities doubled. They could have done a better seating for this, but it's not bad. I didn't really go over that, so I probably should at some point. You know, 3 forward weapons, 3 aft. It does come with a secondary deflector, which is always nice. I just kind of want to deal with these guys first. They're not the main part, but they do put up a fight at least. Now, I'm not a big torpedo person when I'm using beams, but this is what it came with. I should probably actually activate some of those abilities here. See, I'm taking a lot of damage. I mean, it's right out, you know, it's like I said, it's basically what it is as you get it, so it's not going to have a lot of resistances, a lot of damage. It's kind of why I doubled up on my healing abilities, my shield abilities. So it seems like I'm going a bit slow because I am. Like I said, you know, not really built for doing damage yet. All right, I'm almost done with this. Very close. Let's just do it. Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. All right. Still firing at me there for some reason. So this is the main thing I want to kind of test it out on. This can do a lot of damage to you, and it's a lot more tankier than most things in the game. So let's go ahead and see how this fares. You know, with out of the box plus the trait unlocked. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and use the ability. All right, so I got the ability going off. It's not doing a lot of damage. Again, I'm taking a lot of damage myself. Go ahead and use gravity well on there. Use all my control abilities. Again, I'm not doing a lot of damage. Especially with weapons. I mean, I have nothing adding power to it, so I still have some traits on, but they're not really helping me out with this. Other than, I guess, I got twinkling lights on, which is giving me like 20% extra damage for anti-protons. But as you can see, it's not really doing much. The first time I did this, I actually died because I tried to ignore the ships. I went straight after this, and that was a big mistake. All right. And see, I wasn't able to even just knock it down that far on health. So there's a bit of a timer, and yeah. Not now. Okay, so as you saw there, not a lot of damage. It could do a lot better. So with a proper build, it would be great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up my build that I normally have on a ship. I know some of the stuff I have aren't really, meant for this kind of ship. This is actually technically meant for like having hangar pets, but this gives me extra phaser damage. I got 2 of those, and this one also gives me extra resistances, so I'll be more tankier. Plus, I have all sorts of other stuff I'm going to add, and I will be back just in like a second for you, but for me, it's going to be like a little while because it has a cooldown for this patrol, so I'll see you then. All right, so as you can see, I've got like a 30-minute cooldown. I figured I'll use this time to actually kind of go over the, what I'm going to do or how I have this built out now. Typically I try to vary my builds, but I haven't really done much of that. I've kind of focused on my hangar pet build a lot, and that requires me to have phasers because my hangar pets do phaser damage. So I've heavily built out a lot of things that do phaser damage. Most of these consoles do phaser damage, so that'll boost me quite a bit with all my phaser weapons. This is all I really have. This is like the best I have right now for space set right now. I do like using the kinetic cutting beam with the assimilated module because you get that extra crit chance and crit severity, extra weapon power setting, but you also get damage control and control expertise, which will help out with this universal console. So yeah, I'll be right back when my timer is up, and I'll see how well this fares compared to my previous attempt. All right, so I am back now. Again, this is a more late game kind of typical build. I say late game, I say late game plus, because if you're this character, you start a character, get to late game, you're probably not gonna have everything all leveled up and some of this gear from certain reputations. Also these are kind of expensive. But yeah, I think this will be a lot more telling of what this is capable of. I haven't tested it out yet, so let's go ahead and see how it fares. All right, already doing way more damage just with that opening salvo there. All right. Here we go. Yeah, much better. Next group here. Use gravity well. These guys are a little bit tougher, but obviously I'm doing more damage to them. Excuse me, more damage to them now than I was before. Definitely a lot more damage. All right, this should be. Where's the other one at? There you are. Little thing there. Little fighters. All right, I guess that's it. Now on to the station itself. Now I might not be able to take it out. Who knows? Maybe I will. But let's give it a shot. Let's boost everything. Oh, I don't know why I clicked that. I don't have torpedoes. Definitely doing a lot more damage this time. Again, you know, a much better build. So it will do more damage. Now, I did not use these last time, so I'm not going to use them this time. These are the temporal abilities. Go ahead and move around a bit so I don't take as much damage. And get off another gravity well here. I was nowhere near this last time. Might be able to get off another one of the new console abilities here. All right, here we go. I was going to add this in there. Guys, shield's almost depleted. Now, that console ability lasts a long time. It's like 45 seconds. The gravity well here. %. Last time I don't think I got down below like 98 or something. So now you can definitely take this station out, or at least just fully disable it if you have the right build. Yeah, there we go. What was it, down to like 64, 63 there? So not too bad compared to the first, you know, actually I'd say really good compared to the first try. Again, you know, it's a decent build for what it is. I really don't have much in the way of traits that really help me other than maybe like the new twinkling lights trait. That's giving me an extra 20% all damage for anti-proton. So because most of my stuff is kind of set up for pet build, but yeah, I think that overall, you know, this ship is pretty good. It's decent as long as you have a decent build on there. You know, this console heavily focuses on exotic damage, really. I mean, psionic damage, which is boosted by your control and stuff like that. So having more control abilities, or a boost to control abilities, would help out quite a bit. Overall, I would say it's a decent ship. Much better than, I would say, like the summer ship. The summer ship was all right, but it was more of a gimmicky ship. This is more of a practical ship, I would say. And it looks really nice. Would I keep it at, or will I use it as a main ship? If I'm going heavy science without pets, maybe. But I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I do love the way it looks. I kind of wish I could put the flames on my other ship, but that's not gonna happen. But I do recommend getting the ship, especially if you don't have any other ships, and especially if you're a science build. You don't have to be science tuned, but if you're doing heavy like control abilities and stuff like that, is a decent science ship once you have it built out. Plus, it looks awesome. So, yeah, I would say, if you want, any of the ship that's considered free, you gotta think about stuff like that during like the winter and the summer event, what it is, and if it kind of fits your play style. So, again, if you want a science type ship that is capable of doing a lot, has a nice, cool ability, you can boost that up quite a bit more than I have it boosted up, then yeah, I would say this is probably a ship for you. But yeah, let me know what you think of this ship. Is it something you're gonna fly around for a while, or are you gonna give it a pass? Leave like and comment and all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.